All right, guys, and what is going on? Good, well, afternoon now because it's past noon, Eastern Standard Time. But what's going on, guys? This is the Club with the Man, 1993. And I'm coming live to you for a late review of this week's episode of NXT, the August 8th, 2018 edition of NXT. Again, apologize when they able to do this last night. I went to the movies last night, though, with some friends, and I got home, saw NXT. I was kind of tired, so I knew I would be doing just a half-assed review. So that's why I decided to wait till the morning, afternoons. I did a few things and then take a little break, do this review real quick. Then I have a lot to do, so I don't have too much time. So we're here to talk about this week's episode of NXT. Overall, stacked episode with a lot of matches. It was like a 57-minute episode of NXT. A lot happened on the show. We had a debut. We had a qualifying match for the Mae Young Classic. We had a big announcement in the main event. And we had a Experience the Dream thing as well. But overall, fun episode of NXT to watch. I enjoyed it. Definitely delivered. Got me excited for TakeOver Brooklyn 4. So let's dive right into this, guys, and see what we got here. So we started off with a match. It was Amber Nova, which I'm not sure. I can't remember if they said she's going to be in the Mae Young Classic or not, but seemed pretty good looking to me. Her and Nikki Cross, which I was surprised to see this. It seemed like it wasn't a complete squash match for Nikki Cross, but they had Nova getting some offense in there before Nikki eventually went nuts, entertaining the crowd, and then she eventually would beat Nova by hitting the Purge, that Fisherman's Neck Breaker. She calls it the Purge, to get the victory. Not a bad match. My thing is, though, is what was the point of it? Though, because I'm starting to feel like Nikki Cross has done all she can do in NXT. I mean, we saw her on the stage when they made the announcement for Evolution. So, but she's definitely due up soon. I don't know. I just wonder maybe after Takeover Brooklyn 4, she'll make her way up to the main roster, especially on the SmackDown side. Well, either side could use another qualified heel on the main roster. And I feel like if Nikki goes over to the SmackDown, she probably would reunite with Sanity and probably go back to being a heel. Because I feel like since Sanity's being heel, she should be a heel also. Which either way, I think she's an entertaining babyface also. So I definitely just bring up Nikki Cross. I feel like she's done all she could in NXT. She doesn't need a championship run. I feel at this point she's well established. But so just a not a bad opening match to put over Nikki Cross, and then hi to Amber Nova if you're going to be sticking around for longer, or if you're going to be in the Mae Young Classic or whatnot. But we had that match. Again, it wasn't bad. Nikki Cross wins with the Purge. We have a video package for Keith Lee, who's getting set to debut tonight. He gives us some inspiration quotes about working to get better, and then he invites us to bask in his glory. Again, just hyping up for his debut match later on tonight. Then Ricochet was supposed to be in a match. His music plays, and usually Ricochet is right in that center spotlight thing or whatever heck it is during his entrance. He was not there. I'm just like, that's strange. Is he coming out just walking out, or he not just doing that strange little not strange, but epic little entrance or whatnot. All of a sudden, we see the Undisputed Era drag him, right into that center stage spotlight, pretty much, and he was pretty much down. And it's obvious they attacked him. Adam Cole, reverts to how recently Ricochet mentioned how Cole is more of a coward ever since he won the North American Championship, but not really defending it that much, which going back to what I said about Brock Lesnar earlier this week, how they're not making a big deal out of not defending the title much. All of a sudden, boom, it's a big deal because Roman Reigns is being with it. But no, right away, they're already Ricochet's mentioning how Adam Cole is not really, it's kind of gone a little lazy since winning that North American Championship. Given he's good, but he's not really doing much. But they call him a coward. But of course, the time that Adam Cole does not seem like a coward is whenever he's got his buddies in the Undisputed Era behind his back. But Cole said to Ricochet, who's down and out, saying he's not a coward, doesn't hide behind anyone. He stands tall, the one and only North American champion. And then after he mangles Ricochet in Brooklyn, the fact of him being champion will remain the same. So pretty much, he's pretty much, accepting the challenge, even though the match was made last week. Cole's accepting, saying he'll be ready for Brooklyn. So we'll see what happens when it gets to Brooklyn in about a week and a half. But that's a good little promo there to set up that match. We have Vanessa Bourne interview backstage. She's going to be in a match later on tonight against Tainara Conti, and the winner will get the remaining spot in the second annual Mae Young Classic. Borno cut a heel promo saying that she wants to win because she doesn't want to deprive the world of her. She's calling herself Vanessa the Vision. Then she tells the interview to go away and make sure this is the last time they bought her because she's warming up and getting ready to have her match against Tainara Conti, or as Robbie, who's on live chat now, but called it on Twitter, my bae versus his bae, pretty much. Vanessa Bourne still is, pretty good looking. I've seen better, I feel, in my opinion. Tainara Conti, honestly, I would rank higher, but again, Vanessa Bourne's not like, the highest on my scale anymore, but you know what I mean. Anyways, of course, I get the guy talking there. We have another match with a new name, not a complete jobber, but some guy, who I thought was like, this guy's not too bad with his potential. Adrian Jade, who came out and, wearing a gi top and a black belt. Which is pretty cool, I thought, since for me being a former martial artist as well. He came out there, and then he's taking on Cassius Ohno. They have Jade, or however, I can't remember how I pronounce his last name. He got some offense in, some pretty good looking moves, but the story continues here as they're mentioning. I think Cassius Ohno is slowly turning heel. He's mentioning he's frustrated. He's been on a losing streak. He wants more competition. He wants to get to be a more serious contender and not just a crafty veteran putting over other talent like he was for a long time. So the frustration is coming out, and he's really playing that role of knockout artist in these matches as he hits eventually would get the offense in and hits the Dream Crusher on Jode. Again, sorry I'm butchering the name, to get the victory. So Cassius Ohno's on a little bit of a roll. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm sure he's going to play a bigger role and have some type of match at TakeOver War Games 2, unless they're going to bring him to the main roster, which I think he's main roster worthy. I don't think he needs to really be NXT champion or anything, but we'll see what happens. So Cassius Ohno gets the victory there. Anybody in the live chat? We got Ahmed. Who do you think attacked Alistair Black? We'll talk about that. Do you think Killer Cross attacked Alistair Black or Johnny Gargano? Again, I will talk about that towards the end. Thank you though for the comments in the live chat, Ahmed. So continuing on here, we then have EC3 joining the Velveteen Dreams experience, pretty much going to the Velveteen Dream's house. EC3 meets him by the pool, tells him to sit down, and then suggests they take a walk. As they do around the pool, EC3 is suspicious that Velveteen Dream is going to push him into the pool. Carter talks about how he wants the big stage for this big match. They both take off their sunglasses. Dream accuses EC3 of disrespecting him. He purposely drops his sunglasses. EC3 goes and picks them up, and Velveteen Dream tries to shove EC3 into the pool, but then EC3 picks up Dream and tosses him in instead. Of course, Dream's kind of splashing around, kind of freaking out a little bit. And EC3 tells him to chill out because it's only 3 feet of water. And then we're told that Velveteen Dream will be back in Full Sail next week. So, I mean, this build for this match, not as good as the build with Ricochet. I mean, it's still just, I'm for the match. It's still a little strange how they were kind of, going more of like a heel. Like, EC3 was not like full on heel or full on face, like, for the first few months he was here. But now they're definitely going in a baby face direction with him. It's just a little strange. I still think EC3 is more meant to be a heel. But honestly, in my opinion, I like EC3. I'm rooting for Velveteen Dream to win this matchup because I do feel that, yes, he had that epic, showdown with Alistair Black. He lost, but he, it was one of those matches where he lost, but, he still won through the loss, it felt like. He faced Cassius Ohno, which is just, just a veteran putting over, a younger talent there. And he lost to Ricochet. So I honestly feel that, I feel like Velveteen Dream could use this win a little bit more than EC3. I mean, EC3 will be okay with the loss right now. But that's why I'm kind of going to move for Velveteen Dream. This feud's been all right. It's not really been, again, I was more into the Ricochet and Velveteen Dream feud. This one, again, it could be good, but I'm not as invested in it, I'd say, as it was for Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. So we'll see what happens next week whenever, the Dream returns to Full Sail. Reacts to, EC3 tossing him into the pool, whatnot, of 3 feet of water. So, yeah, we got that. Then we had Keith Lee making this NXT debut, taking on Marcel Barthel. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Who's German apparently, and I was kind of impressed with them also. I thought, they want to sign this guy more long, is to keep this guy around. I've been interested definitely seeing more from him as well. But the match was just showing off Keith Lee's athleticism. Big guy, about 320 pounds, solid strikings, and the guy's quick. He does kind of move like a little bit like a cruiserweight for a guy who's like 300 pounds. Very agile. Again, I was impressed. A lot of people have told me Keith Lee's a big deal, whatnot. He gets the win here, hitting a fireman's carry into a jackhammer. So I definitely I think this Marcel Barthel. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more, seeing more of him. And also Keith Lee, definitely like to see what's more to do up with him down the line. I was thinking also, even though I know AOP is not being booked too strong so far on the main roster, what if something we had a stable with Keith Lee and the Authors of Pain? They're all big guys, 300 some pounds. They'd be a dominating stable, I think. Nobody will be stopping them. Ain't no stopping me now. Where's he been, by the way, on the main roster? Anyways, but yeah, so Keith Lee wins his debut match against Marcel Barthel. And then we have a Street Profits doing a video of their show Street Talk. They're sitting at a table in front of an ATM. They make fun of TM61, how they call themselves the Mighty, and it looks like they're having a match next week. So just hype it up. We're going to get a rematch between TM61, the Mighty, and the Street Profits next week. Still, it's weird. I'm still confused what the heck they're doing now with the Mighty. Now they were winning cheap matches, and now their opponents face them again. They're all beating them now. So we'll see what goes on with this next week. But then we have that qualifying match for Mae Young Classic, Vanessa Bourne versus Tainara Conti. But they did kind of like emphasize that Vanessa Bourne was still more the heel in this match. I liked also how Marwan All was saying that these two consider themselves friends, but is obviously for me, I was rooting for Tainara Conti because I like Vanessa Bourne. I feel like though she's already had like time in the spotlight though. In NXT, Tainara Conti, just brief when she was kind of being like the Undisputed Era's woman going after Nikki Cross, because they knew when Undisputed Era was dealing with Sanity, she was they knew they needed someone to take Nikki Cross out of the equation. And I didn't really do much with her on NXT after that. So I do felt if anybody needs this opportunity in the Mae Young Classic more, it's Tainara Conti. And I thought both of these women brought out the best in each other. And the story there of Tainara Conti, despite having the WrestleMania moment, being in the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, looking like she was the one that wanted it more. And they told us the right story in the match. I definitely hope to see more of Tainara Conti in NXT as well. And she gets the win, so she's going to be going on to the Mae Young Classic, which airs soon on the WWE Network. So I look forward to definitely seeing it again, seeing some of the other women in action as well, because I was, amazed. I was impressed with how it was last year. Look forward to seeing it again. So we got that. We also get announced that next week, speaking of the Mae Young Classic, former Mae Young Classic winner Kairi Sane is going to, have one more match next week to get ready for her match for the NXT Women's Championship against one of my underrated favorites, Aaliyah. And then also we're going to get Tyler Bate taking on Roderick Strong next week as well. Then they also point out that a former UFC champion or fighter or whatnot, Cole Velasquez, is in the crowd as well at Full Sail. And then we get our main event, Johnny Gargano versus Alistair Black. It's definitely a match I definitely like to see. Of course, it wasn't like a full-on match. It was just just a physical, hard-hitting brawl set up for more of an angle, because these guys are going to each other's throats, because Alistair Black is mad at Johnny Gargano, because Johnny Gargano is the one who costed him his NXT championship, and because Johnny's been so obsessed with getting his hands on Tommaso Ciampa, as Gargano keeps saying now, he doesn't know who he is anymore. He says Johnny Wrestling is gone, but his destiny is to get to the NXT championship and take it away from Tommaso Ciampa, because he created this mess, and once he gets that NXT championship, he will be Johnny Wrestling again. So him and Gargano, this is not just them having just a match, a normal match these two would have. This is them having an all-out fight. It was physical, and I thought it was great to emphasize the tension between the two of them, both being baby faces, until of course Tommaso Ciampa came out towards the end and he attacked them both, causing a no contest. They brawled each other, got way out of hand. I get referees coming out there breaking them up. And then Regal came out and pretty much said, you know, this is not going to happen now, but I'm not going to hold it back forever. That's why he's going to make the match. Which before this match, it was announced that Alistair Black was going to get his rematch against Ciampa for the championship at TakeOver Brooklyn 4, just one-on-one. But then they announced, you know, with you know the chaos going on here, he's making it a triple threat match for the first time in NXT history at TakeOver. It will be a triple threat match for the NXT championship. It will be Tommaso Ciampa taking on Johnny Gargano and Alistair Black. Of course, Ciampa a little, you know, intimidated by that, saying it's not fair and whatnot. However, though, and here's the thing: when I got out of the movies last night, I saw this, and you know, at first, you know, I thought, you know, whoa, you know, and then I remember, oh yeah, that's right. It's probably storyline wise, but apparently, Alistair Black was found unconscious in the parking lot outside of Full Sail after the show last night, and you know, when they showed the segment with Regal going out to see what's going on, Johnny came walking in past him. So could Johnny Gargano be the one to attack Alistair Black? Again, you never know. I mean, it's still, you know, that they need to make Johnny Gargano still the babyface to eventually overcome, you know, this nightmare of what's been going on, the war between him and Tommaso Ciampa. But then again, you know, what if Johnny snapped and beat the crap out of Alistair's, saying that, you know, he's in my way now, so I had to do what I had to do to get past him. But also the fact also that because Alistair Black recently had groin surgery, and there are rumors now he may not be able to wrestle in next Saturday's triple threat match at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. So was that just an angle just to write him off or whatnot? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, it's definitely a concern right there. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I forgot. Someone said something about Cassius Ohno, and I can't remember who the other person was. They said should compete in a match to replace Black in the match, or Dakota Byers, which I don't know if he's watching this or not. He mentioned the idea maybe there's rumors of Matt Riddle, which I don't know about him, maybe being the one to be a surprise, you know, replacement as well. Either way, I still see Johnny Gargano winning the champ. If it's a triple threat, I still see Johnny Gargano winning the championship at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. I mean, if it's still a triple threat, he's going to win it, but he's not going to pin Tommaso Ciampa. That way, set up for the third and final match between these two at NXT TakeOver War Games 2, probably inside Hell in a Cell. Because I would like an I Quit match also, but I feel like, you know, it would be too similar to just a regular street fight and whatnot that they've had already. Well, the unsanctioned match is still kind of like, you know, a street fight. But then like the more physical street fight they had at TakeOver Chicago too. So I do think just make it a little different. Do Hell in a Cell at TakeOver War Games 2 between them and the feud. So, but we'll see what happens with Alistair Black, if he's still going to be able to wrestle in the match or not due to his groin injury. But that is it, guys. That's it for at least episode of NXT. Again, kind of rushed through it, but I have other things to do. I give this week's episode of NXT a B+. B+ for NXT. What grade would you guys give NXT? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, sure to click by like and subscribe more content on this channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. I'll be back up here later on tonight to do my top 10 special of the week, which will be my top 10 best and worst matches in SummerSlam history. So until then, guys, I am checking out. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out, everybody.